Welcome in to this edition of the Oxford Exxon podcast and hand raise, guys. Thursday night, 7 o'clock on the dot. We timed that 10-minute countdown pretty well there, as it is 7.
Yeah,
right
boy,
now.
I'm super sharp tonight.
Neal wanted to just do the solo tonight and just hang out
Yeah.
for 3 or 4 hours, and I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
Whatever.
That's what I wanted to do.
So we'll take your calls. Hopefully, you guys have plenty of conversation topics because it's Thursday of a bye week with a presidential election in tow. Yeah, we're just kind of here right now. But
What a week, huh? I mean, this is the week that your grandkids are going to call you about because they're writing their term paper. And I'm totally serious.
The COVID presidential election with potentially a court system in play.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're past potentially. I think
Yeah.
that's where we're headed. Now, I thought about that. Literally, I was on the Peloton when Trump was talking, and then I took a shower, and I was thinking about it in the shower. I was like, this is, like, I remember doing, like, term papers on the 60s, and I would basically interview my parents. And I thought, that's what's coming. That people are going to do term papers on 2020 years from now that going to be nutty.
Yeah, because it's 2000 on steroids.
Oh, this is.
I mean, people wrote term papers on 2000. I mean, hanging chads was in our lexicon for
2020. Really came down to what? 2 counties, 3 counties, not even a whole state. It was 2 or 3 counties. This is. I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want to get political about it at all. Zero. We're talking about like 4 or 5 states they're going to file suits and stuff, and who knows? And I don't know.
But I mean, look, the court thing never actually works. It's just okay, sure. I mean, come on.
It is fitting that this is the election where, look, Trump's going to lose, and most Republicans are happy. And the Democrats did not get what they wanted, and so they finally
pissed.
They got rid of Trump, but they're pissed. Like Pelosi apparently in a caucus call today got it chewed.
Well, because they're in danger if they don't change what they do of getting just absolutely mauled in 2022.
Sure.
Because every incumbent has a hard time in the midterm.
So it's the interesting thing today. It's one of the things I really disagreed with Trump about tonight when Trump said he thought the polls were a suppression device. I don't think so.
Whoa, hold on. What? I did not listen to Donald Trump tonight, so you're going to have to fill me in.
So Trump said that my forehead favors Frankenstein. I've been compared to a lot of people. Frankenstein's not one, but I get it. I'm an ugly dude. I'll be the first to admit it.
I'll at least give him credit because Frankenstein's the monster, not the doctor. So that is at least credit there. That's. I'm sorry, that's the doctor, not the monster. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
So you're actually wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. No, Frankenstein's not the monster.
So when I think Frankenstein, I think like Herman Munster.
But no, the monster is not Frankenstein. It's Frankenstein's monster in the book.
Yeah.
So no, Frankenstein's the doctor. So when you say that, actually, it's just a normal dude.
So when he said that the polls, like the Washington Post, ABC poll that had Wisconsin, they missed Wisconsin by like 16 points, right? And they missed Florida by, 8 points. People don't hold me to exact numbers because, hell, I'm tired of it. I don't remember. Missed Ohio by 9 points or something like that, right? Vaguely. He said those were intentionally, I don't think intentionally was the word that he used, but it was a word that is synonymous with intentionally. Okay. Those were intentionally misleading to suppress the vote. I disagree. The reason I disagree is because what's come out in the last 48 hours is that a lot of the Democrats in Congress really believed those polls. Those weren't manipulated by Democrats to get suppression. Those were polls that they really they really believed. The one guy that comes out of this as a winner is the guy Cahaley from the Trafalgar Group. He got it right again. I mean, he missed a little bit here and there, sure. But dude nailed most of it. He said, hey, there's this serious shy Trump element. He crushed it. He's right. Give him credit. You know what I mean? The weird-looking dude with all the facial hair.
We talked about it the other day.
His eyes are barely open when he talks, and he has the bow tie. But he got it right. I mean, credit where credit's due. And Trump said that. I'm like, no, that's not right. Because instead of getting that, because I think a lot of the Democrats thought the big blue wave was coming, and it didn't come. At a minimum, the Senate's going to stay where it was. at a maximum, the Republicans might actually gain a seat, depending on what happens in Georgia. And the Republicans gained at least 6, maybe 5, maybe 7, I don't know, whatever, seats in the House. So they, kind of swung it back to the middle a little bit. And it appears that certainly that Biden's going to win the White House. It's not a massive win for anybody.
Creates a lot of gridlock, mainly.
Yeah.
The way the government is designed. Tuesday night I was all in. Again, I love campaigns. I love elections. I was all in. I'm going to be up. Going to watch it. And even Wednesday, it's like, okay. Today it was kind of like, all right, I'm done. Just let's move on. I was finished today. I don't know that I didn't turn a news channel on all day today. I knew Trump was speaking per Twitter, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I figured if it was anything noteworthy, I would see it in a second. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Picks are up on the site. We got some stuff pinned on the message board as well. Looked at 3 players who need to, frankly, be better for Ole Miss this season. That's up there. Ja'Cory Hawkins, Jonathan Mingo, and Ryder Anderson were the 3 I went with. Also, Tavius Robinson's numbers have been really freaking good in a lot of areas. He's played well as a newcomer in year one.
He's a good player.
Yeah, I was just seeing some of the stuff. I mean, he's got a couple areas where it's dragging down some of his overall grades, but he's been quite good.
Where's this game tonight? Is this game at Lambeau or is it in San Francisco?
I have no idea. But the 49ers are missing damn near everybody. I mean, Kittle's out, Garoppolo's out. They've got all kind of dudes out today.
Caroline just sent me a picture from Vaught Hemingway. She's there. The band is performing, and the Rebelettes are performing.
There's a lot of people there. It looked fairly crowded.
Good.
Yeah.
All those kids need to be recognized. They've busted their butts, too. Just because they're not football players doesn't make their contributions any less significant. One of Caroline's very best friends is a freshman Rebelette, and this is her first time to perform at Vaught Hemingway here in November. Again, 2020 can just bite it. I'm not even going to write a year in review thing this year. I'm just going to put up a message board post that says, see ya.
Thank God it's over.
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, last night, why aren't you cheering against Kermit on the basketball? Yeah, I'm starting the J-State love early. I think people took me serious on Twitter last night. Clay Adams says, don't you think if Democrats had some huge mail-in fraud effort, they would have at least used those Senate seats. They would have gotten those Senate seats they lost. Come on. I was messing with Dilling, tweeted something like that, and I came back and I said, well, all the socialists really want everybody to have a piece of the pie. And I was being just playing around, and all the likes and whatever. I'm like, guys, calm down. I'm just chilling out. I'm just trying to have a little levity here. But
I don't know.
Whatever. What do y'all want to talk about? In the stream, give us some stuff. We'll open calls before too long because, frankly, we're running pretty low on fuel at the moment.
Yeah, I don't have much.
I do have a question here, though. You've got Neal Brown as elite in picks. I saw your caption today.
I think he's the most underrated on his way to elite coach there is.
The jobs keep him from being more elevated.
I'd love to see what happens if he lands a big-time job. Very clearly knows what he's doing.
It feels early. I want to see next year. He's 4-2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
They were 6-6, 5-7, something like that last year in the rebuild after Dana at West Virginia. He did a hell of a job at Troy, obviously, before he got the job. It's interesting.
I've talked to some people in the coaching business. They really are high on him. They think he's sharp. Could end up getting one of the big jobs. See questions in the thread.
I've heard nothing about Terrence Davis at all.
No.
Literally nothing.
Just there's multiple charges. Recruiting news, not really. Zach has a recruiting story with MJ Daniels up on the site. I edited it this morning.
What do you say?
Watch out.
You can go to Rebel Grove and read it. But
yeah,
just in general.
signing. Watch out for signing day. Hearing from Ole Miss a lot. Hearing from Texas A&M a lot. Still committed to Mississippi State. Sammy wants an Arch Manning update. There's really nothing to update.
He's a sophomore at Newman.
Yeah, as of right now, he's still got 2 years of high school left. Chet wants to know if I can talk about life in Fayetteville. Not really. I haven't been there since March. There's a good Mexican restaurant up on the square that I like. Robert Sheeran and I went there in Friday, March the 13th. That's the last time I've been there. The Hilton Garden Inn off Weddington was nice on the 14th. That's the extent of there's your Fayetteville update. That's all I can tell you.
I don't even remember where I stayed for the Super Regional last year. All runs together. I mean, that does feel like 9 years ago right now. I mean, just. Whew.
Oh, was there a call made on Georgia?
Oh, was there?
Could be. It looked like Biden was going to overtake him there.
Did he?
I don't know.
Well, it was 3,000 votes last time I saw.
Yeah, it dropped. It dropped from. It's still 3,486 votes according to Fox. I'm looking to see if there's anything on CNN. I'll do the double flip. No, in fact, CNN still has not given Biden Arizona. They've got it at 250.
It is a really weird kind of dichotomy there between those two.
Yeah. Does coaching business mean actual coaches or just people in the coaching business? It means coaches. It's a business. I don't think Chet Rose likes me very much, which is fine.
But I do appreciate you in the stream every time.
Lots of people don't like me, and that's okay. I'm cool with not being liked. Doesn't bother me much. It used to bother me some. It doesn't bother me anymore. The coaching business is people who are in the business of coaching. I don't know if you've noticed this, but they'll work at a school for 6 years. Like, let's say they work at Purdue, and the next day they're at Louisville, and they immediately just switch. Everything stays the same. They just switch shirts. That's a business. If you think the people that are coaching at the school,
they're very loyal to their.
If you think people are coaching at your school and they love your school, you're out of your mind. They could love the next school in literally 6 milliseconds. They love whoever's paying their check, and there's not a damn thing wrong with that.
It's a large percentage of the coaching staff. Yeah, it's just mercenaries.
It's absolutely mercenary. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sounds good.
Occasionally, you'll see the coach that falls in love with the place.
And families, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Tough gig in a lot of ways. I mean, they get paid really well.
Sure, it's a real tough gig.
I mean, it's a mess in some ways.
I talked to Chris Vaughn last week because I read the story in the Atlantic, and I reached out to him to tell him how much I liked it. The story actually moved me to tears. And we had that conversation about how coaching is a hard profession for a dad. That he said that Deuce told him, when he lost his job at Texas because of the NCAA thing, he was devastated. Chris was. And so the kids were happy because for the first time really in their lives, Dad was home. And it changed his relationship with his daughter, with his son. Talked about how it ended up being the best things ever happened to him. And he got the job with the Cowboys, which has a lot of freedom. It's kind of cool.
I remember his kids a lot. He's probably one of the coaches where you do remember his kids as much as any other.
Well, I remember Deuce because he was a little dude. But Deuce, I can remember watching Deuce in a flag football game, and nobody could grab the flag. I was like, man, that kid can run.
Oh, and look.
And then he played soccer out at what is now M-Trade or whatever.
Sure.
And, I mean, he was like scoring 400 goals a game because nobody could run with him. But he was just so little. And then I told Chris, because I remembered following him a little bit through high school. And then we had turned on, it was the September, the first weekend of football. Ole Miss was not playing yet.
The 5th.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
September 5th.
And so Ole Miss was still 3 weeks away, and we had turned the game on. It was an 11 o'clock game, and it was Kansas State. And Arkansas State's kicking off to Kansas State, and you see the back of this, young, small dude, and his name is Vaughn, 22. And I'm like, wait a minute, where did Chris and Marquette's kid go to school? And Laura's like, I don't know. And I'm Googling it. I'm like, that's him. And so, we were watching him. He's having this great game, and it was a lot of fun because we were so excited.
Look, back in the day in the IPF, we had Deuce Vaughn and Kumar Rocker walking around.
Yeah. How about that?
I mean, just –
well, some NFL people, and it's early because he's just a freshman, but they compare him to Darren Sproles. This is an easy easy comparison to make
Kansas
because they're both
State.
small and
Both went to Kansas State.
running backs, Kansas State, all that stuff. But hey, he's a stud. Now West Virginia put the brakes on him last week.
Yeah, they hammered Kansas State up pretty good.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun to talk to Chris about it. So.
I'm looking at the stream.
Yeah, they're saying talk about recruiting. I just don't know anything. I don't know enough about recruiting right now to tell you. The truth is there's just not much to know. It's not a typical recruiting year.
Well, there's hardly anything to know. I mean, I think Lane would even say that right now. It's just.
Can I make one more election observation that's not political at all?
You can make 14 if you'd like.
Don't you think at this point, here's my theory. Tell me whether I'm crazy.
Okay.
Or my proposal.
Sure.
What if next time we had a 4-day or 3-day voting window? Maybe you opened the polls on Friday morning and you had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you made Monday a federal holiday, Election Day. So 4 days to vote. Polls are open 7 to 7 for 4 straight days.
Okay.
And if you're military, obviously, if you're overseas, or if you're disabled or whatnot, and you can document that, you can vote absentee. But everybody else has to vote in person. Everybody votes on the exact same type of whatever, whether it's a machine or a form or whatever.
I'm listening.
No results can be released Friday, Saturday, or Sunday at all.
No mail-ins.
No mail, well, unless you are military.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Or you can do absentee voting, where if like you can prove that you're going to be at work. Let's say you're in Mississippi,
But you didn't got to prove it because right now nobody actually.
No, you have to prove it.
Okay, that's because.
And we enforce it. Wouldn't that be good? Because here's the thing. No matter whether you're for Trump or Biden, Republican or Democrat or whatever, at the end of this election, no one's going to trust it. If Biden wins, half the country is going to think this was fixed. And if Trump wins, half the country is going to think he maneuvered it through the courts. No one's going to trust this. And that's not good for an already divided country. We already all hate each other. And we do absolutely all hate each other. I mean, that's the truth. So wouldn't that be good to solve that? Have a 4-day voting block. And on Monday night, it's over. Everyone's filled it in. There's nothing to count. There's no absentees to count. They've already been counted. Absentee votes have to be in. Here's what I would say. Absentee votes have to be in by the Friday of the 4-day voting period. It's all counted, all done. And on Monday night at about 8 o'clock, we all know the answer. And there'd be some people that would go, oh, they cheated or whatever, but we'd know.
Saw where Tate came out against any type of mail-in votes or early votes. Today, however, Michael Watson, the Secretary of State, said he would be in favor of early in-person voting for Mississippi.
Sure.
Or more of it, I guess. They already have absentee voting, but he would be for a less strict in-person early voting system. That's what I saw today from him. So, I mean, Grind, I hope you're right. I hope the division will lessen with Trump out.
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I think it's about to get nasty in our country. I think it's about to get really ugly.
Even after January?
Yep.
But over what?
Everything. No one's going to trust anything. If you don't trust the results, you don't trust the republic. If you don't trust the republic, you don't trust the democracy. If half of the country views a president as illegitimate, you have strife. And God forbid we have another shutdown related to the virus. It's going to get ugly. 2021 has the chance to make 2020 look like a powder puff game. Drop another shutdown in early February. See what happens.
It is amazing this takes this long.
Stupid. We live in America. We have a voting system of a third world country.
I got Florida had their act together on Tuesday night, though. Said,
they learned.
We've been here before. We're getting this thing done.
No, they learned.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I mean, it was rolling in
It's
Florida.
doable. Yeah, Ohio, too. Yeah. Ohio plays no games. Because they knew, hey, we've been a swing state and all that stuff before. We're not, nope.
We know how this goes.
Yeah.
Put the number up.
I was just making sure that audition's up, numbers up, and phone lines are open. People keep telling us to talk about sports. You guys are going to have to ask some specific questions. I don't know anything about basketball. I haven't seen a practice. I talked to Kermit and all those guys a week ago. I've used all that material. I don't have anything new.
Assuming a normal schedule, I saw Louisiana Tech put out their baseball schedule today and said Ole Miss is going to play at Tech this season. So,
does Tech have a field?
Yeah, they have a new field. Yeah, Tech built a new park.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I might go cover that just to go see Ruston.
Yeah, they built a new park. I don't know this, but I know Mike, and I know how he likes doing scheduling. My assumption would be that is the Tuesday, Wednesday of spring break.
Okay.
I bet he's doing it Tuesday, Wednesday on the way somewhere else, is my guess.
All right. I might go to that just for fun.
That's my guess. I hadn't seen dates, but that's a guess. But yeah, it says, let's see. Louisiana Tech baseball has announced a full 56-game schedule today that includes a record number of home games in its new park and will include home dates against Illinois, Arkansas, and Ole Miss.
Oh, good.
So
Louisiana Tech has Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Illinois coming to Ruston.
That is correct.
Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Hey, who do we have?
This is Casey from Natchez. How you guys doing?
Hey, Casey, I'm good. How are you? Or we're good, I should say.
Well, good. So I've got something I want to talk about. Chase and Neal, you too, because you've been playing some. Let's talk about the Masters a little bit. I want to hear from Chase to see who he thinks is going to win, what he thinks about Bryson DeChambeau and the distance and all that, and also anything else golf related. That's something coming up that's exciting. Looking forward to next week. Appreciate all y'all do.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. I am really interested in this November Masters because it's different. You're going to have a course that plays different. It's going to look differently than it has in April as well. It's going to play longer and probably still just helps out the Bombers even more. But I like the fact that we see something different where you're at least going to sit some different clubs into some greens. I think what they're going to do, though, they're going to have to kind of get on the horse a little bit because you're going to have a lot less daylight. I saw where maybe 40-something hours, obviously, of less daylight in November than April from that standpoint. I want to see some of the lines that DeChambeau tries to take. He says he's going to try to use a 48-inch driver and just pound it over some of the dog legs. I want to see what that looks like. Look, if he putts, he has such a length advantage that you got to think he probably is at least a betting favorite in this thing. I think Justin Thomas finally plays well in Augusta. He is not in his career to this point, but I think he does. Because look, this thing's all about this is all about approach at Augusta. As long as you can hit it far enough to be in the realm with the long hitters, it's all about approach, and probably more so now. I also think first time younger guys have a little more of a chance because the intricacies of understanding Augusta National are not going to be the same in November as they were in April. So nobody has seen this to any large degree. So just my guess. But yeah, we're getting two Masters in a few months between November and April. No patrons in this, but it'll be neat. I kind of like how it looks different and feels differently.
Sure.
And I sort of snuck up on me. I saw where it started. Obviously a week from today, but I didn't realize that until earlier this morning.
Chet says, full disclosure, I'm being a smartass here. How is Andy Kennedy going to do at UAB? I talked to Andy last week at length for a little while, but we didn't talk about his team. We just kind of talked about life stuff.
He's eventually going to do well.
Yeah.
He's recruited really well there.
They're picked to finish fourth in the –
Okay.
What are they in?
Conference USA?
Yeah. I think UAB has a chance to end up in the American.
Oh, really?
Which would be a good fit for them. But we didn't talk about his team at all. So, I don't know. If they get fans, I might go over for one of their games.
UAB?
Yeah, because I like Birmingham. Might go see his team. I consider Andy a friend. I think he considers me a friend, so I don't cover him anymore. I don't have to be neutral or whatnot.
18,000 ballots left to be counted in Georgia. Trump up by 3,000.
That's over.
That's
night.
Feels like it, doesn't it?
No, Biden's going to win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what's this electoral college going to end up at then?
A bunch. I think Biden's going to go over 300,
Is he
right?
going to get to 300?
Yeah, because he's going to win Arizona. He's going to win Georgia. He's going to win Pennsylvania, and he's going to win Arizona. or Nevada, I should say. Is it Nevada or Nevada? I don't know. My friendship with Andy did not impact my coverage. In fact, I'm the one that asked the really hard question in Starkville that year that pissed him off for 3 years.
3 years is about right.
Yeah, so it didn't. You don't have to believe this, Chet. It's cool. I don't care. I'm 50 years old, and I just don't give a shit anymore, if I'm honest. I do this job really professionally. I don't love Ole Miss. I don't hate Ole Miss. I have no feelings for Ole Miss, negatively or positively. I covered Andy, and he knew that I covered him as a professional, and we had differences throughout our experience. In fact, the highlight of his career at Ole Miss, he was so pissed at me that he would hardly talk to me. So
It was during that.
Yeah, because that was right. They went on that run right after that, and it was fresh.
You sparked it if you look back at it, probably.
Perhaps.
I mean,
I think the one thing he respected about me, though, was that after that week, a week after that game, Ole Miss played at LSU, and I was the only beat writer there.
That's right.
And I drove down there because professionally I felt like I needed to be accountable.
Probably the only person he ever got madder at than you, and this one a while, is he got mad at David Brandt over the story where he worked the alienation of affection or whatever it was into the game story. The next week
he didn't like that at all.
Well, I mean, come on.
And
like, I love Dave, but I mean, like, I think it was David. But it was something along the lines of, it was like, on Tuesday, Andy Kennedy was accused of losing spark in the bedroom. He lost spark in the half court or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, whoa.
That was too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chet says you became friends after he left. No, we were friends. I mean, but now when you say friends, did we hang out? No. Did we like exchange Christmas cards? No. Did our families hang out together? No. We have a lot in common. We think very similarly. I think we have a mutual respect for one another. So it's probably easier to be, quote, friends now than it was then, but I don't.
And he's just such a good dude.
And Chase can vouch for this.
Yeah.
I don't take myself very seriously. I don't take what I do very seriously. I don't think what I do is significant. I don't think it matters. I just do my job.
I think it matters.
And I don't hang tight, caller. I don't play in the games. There's a scoreboard business with coaches, and I don't do anything that impacts the score. And so, the guy that I might hate the very most, if he wins, I write that he won. The guy that I might like the very most, if he loses, I write that he lost. I mean, what I do for a living is pretty insignificant. I mean, if I'm honest, that's the way I view it. So it didn't really ever impact that, other than he didn't like that question. And I don't blame him. I didn't ask it. And frankly, I'm mad at myself to this day, not for asking the question, but for asking the question in an environment where I let all of the other slaps on the beat who didn't have the sack to ask that question, I gave them the answer. Yeah, I should have asked that.
That's the problem with any major question, is asking it actually in a press conference.
I should have asked that question on my own. He still would have been pissed off. We would have had a little different kind of a conversation.
He would have appreciated it more in that environment.
It was the crap in that moment for me was not that I asked the question. It was that I asked the question there. And Chet, man, you and me could have this fight all day. He coached in the biggest shithole of an arena in one of the hardest leagues in the country with no recruiting money at all to speak of. None. He had no money to buy players. In a league,
he had to drive the compact car to the airport.
In a league that buys players. He would bring kids to Oxford, Chet. And you don't want to hear this because you love Ole Miss, and that's okay. I don't. Andy doesn't. So we don't have to view it that way. You love Ole Miss, and so you have red and blue blinders on. I don't. I saw it for what it was. So when he brought kids to campus, and they would
lied and told them.
I'm going to tell the story. He would bring kids to campus, and they would say, "Where is the basketball facility?" And he would say, "Well, we're building a new one." And he would drive them out to where Oxford High School is now and lie to them and say, "That's where we're building the new arena," because they'd cleared the land. So if you want to say that's a job, and go beat Florida and beat Kentucky and beat these other schools, beat LSU, beat Auburn, beat these schools that are more committed to it than you are. Man, I don't know what to tell you. Look, but the deal is he coached for 12 years. It was over when it was over. He knew it was over. He left in a peaceful way. I mean, we're all talking about the way Trump might or might not leave. Andy Kennedy could not have given Ole Miss a better exit than he gave. And Ole Miss went out and hired a hell of a basketball coach who's come in, who's picked it up, and has taken it to a level that Andy had not taken it to. He has the benefit of the pavilion, and Kermit's a hell of a coach. And the truth about Kermit is that he's a damn gangster, and nobody just quite knows it. Because he can turn on that Southern charm and all that stuff. But trust me when I tell you.
He can be one cutthroat son of a gun.
He's a gangster. And I mean that in a complimentary way. And he's going to take your program potentially to new heights. But you will look back 20 years from now and look back at the dozen years that Andy Kennedy put in and went, whoa, he did a pretty good job. Did a pretty good job. Yeah, he had 2 appearances in 11 years, never higher than an 11 seed, in a time when the tournament changed. And nothing against what Kermit did in year 1, but had Kermit that year been 1 year earlier, that team doesn't make the tournament. And that's just reality. And you can dislike that. You can get all worked up about it, whatever you want to do. I know he didn't go and kiss the alumni ass and all that stuff that a lot of Ole Miss people want him to do, but he did all right.
You know what's interesting about that, and we'll get to you in just 1 second, caller. What's interesting about that is when Andy did go in those rooms, he was phenomenal. He just wouldn't go. You know what I mean?
It's just not what he wanted to do.
Yeah, no, but he was, with us that night with the whole Cathead story or whatever, he walks in the room and it's like, all right, ball game, here we go.
And he learned his lesson a little bit. He's doing it at UAB some now, but we'll see. Anyway, hey, caller, I'm sorry. Who's this?
Oh, you're good. This is Mark from DC. I have a hypothetical question for you guys, a little bit off topic. It is football related. So if you take the 2014 defense paired with this year's offense, what year does Ole Miss have a better chance at winning a national title in, this year or in 2014? And I'll hang up and listen.
Wait, hold on. One more time because I got lost in some of that. What are the 2 years?
So you have the 2014 defense, which was tops in the nation at points per game.
Okay.
And has this year's offense. Which year is easier for Ole Miss to win a national title, 2014 or 2020?
Okay.
I'll hang up and listen.
All right. He's saying that's your team. Your team is the 2014 defense and this offense. Obviously, a really, really good overall team. If you had to put that team in one of the 2 seasons, which one would you pick to try to let them win the title, the 14 season or this season?
I got you. Okay. You're better at this than I am.
Well, it's this season. You almost beat Alabama anyway, and that's your hardest game. Frankly, I mean, I know you're playing 10 SEC games, but, I mean, who are you worried about? It's Vanderbilt and Kentucky from over there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I guess Florida in the opener, but you scored a ton of points. I don't know. I mean, that team together like that probably wins a national title in either season. I mean, you're talking about a top 10 offense and a top 5 defense on the same team.
I think you're probably right. It's probably this year.
Here's your question: who do you want to coach the damn thing? There's your answer. You got Kiffin or Freeze?
Kiffin.
Well, then you want this year. That's the only difference. If it's 14, you got Freeze.
And that's not a knock at Freeze. There's a story. It's on the board. Dellinger did a really good story on Freeze. Yeah. Freeze is kind of sick of it all. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
It's all good. Is this Bubba?
Hey, boys. How y'all doing?
Hey, Bubba. We're good. How are you?
Sitting around. Just got in from work. Put you boys on. I don't even know. I'm probably 3rd or 12th or something, but just wanted to give y'all a call and got 2 questions for you. One, I'm not going to talk politics. Enough of that this week. That's all I've heard about, and from just towing people. But anyway, looks like Liberty's pretty high ranked. What do you think of them going to Tennessee? Maybe Hugh Freeze or somewhere in the SEC, or do you think it's just too early?
I don't know. It's too early to say because I don't know what – look, if you look around the country, just – we've talked about this, and not to get all sober and on the COVID crap. What can you do from a stadium standpoint next year? Can you fill up your stadium? Because if you can't fill up your stadium, you just got to tread water for another year. People are losing money hand over fist at these jobs, at these schools. Paying off a coach right now is just not It's just not realistic. It's just not.
I don't know why Tennessee felt the need to give Pruitt that extension earlier in the year. It made
was
no
dumb.
sense.
It was a stupid move.
He still hasn't done anything.
No. But firing him today so that you can go hire somebody, just
that's dumb too.
Unless you know for a fact that the vaccine comes and everybody's good and we can get back to normal and this is gone, then it's different. But right now, today, and you're going to have to make this decision in 3 or 4 weeks, I don't know, man. I don't see it happening.
Liberty will not be favored in Oxford next year. Go ahead.
Yeah, and how about Coach O? Y'all think he's going to be done in about a year? Because LSU just looks horrible.
I don't think he's the coach there in 2022.
2022. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, boys. Well, I'm going to eat some dinner.
What
Actually,
do you have for supper?
Mary has cooked me some meatloaf, some mac and cheese, and I'm going to sit here and drink some beers and listen to y'all.
I'm glad you got your vegetables in with the mac and cheese.
Are you a meatloaf guy? What's in the meatloaf?
She puts onions and stuff in it. I prefer steak, but hey.
Do you put ketchup across the top like some people?
Yeah. How sweet is the topping?
She puts that brown sugar around it, so it's actually pretty good.
I don't like that. I just like the ketchup and the mustard mixed. No sugar.
Ugh. No, I guess I like it sweet, Neal. But anyway, y'all have a good night, and I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, Bubba. Thanks.
What are you drinking?
Bye.
What's that?
Pure Kentucky. Alex Martin got it for me.
Okay.
Small batch. I don't know what the hell it is.
Okay. It's alcohol.
It's. I mean, come on. Does it even matter anymore?
Today's not the day to really get all discerning on that. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, it just doesn't do its job.
No, I think Freeze will be excited to come back here next year for that game. What's he got to lose?
Nothing to lose. He didn't have to apologize anymore. He's apologized. It's over.
I mean, he was here in December for a week or two. I mean, he's been around. I mean, whatever.
It's over. Let it go.
He hung out with Kiffin at Grill House at night. He was there like 5 minutes. I'm just screwing with people. I did get the pictures blown up. It's like, oh my God. I was like, no. Well, here's what. I called somebody. I'm like, what the hell happened? And they're like, no, he just was leaving and saw him and sat down for like 2 minutes. It's like, okay. I thought he was just breaking bread. It's like,
it's crazy. Hey, who's this?
This is Mark. I was kind of hoping y'all wouldn't answer tonight.
Why?
I don't know. I was not very prepared for the call.
we're not very prepared for the
We're
show.
not, we're
so
not,
you're all
I
in
was
with
going to
us.
say, yeah, we're all in this together because we're not prepared.
Chase, what you said on the podcast, I guess yesterday, about Wisconsin's voter turnout, was that accurate or was that some goofy website you were reading that from?
That was Neal. I have no idea.
It was accurate. The only difference was it was not. So the number of people who voted in Wisconsin was accurate. That was a 2016 number, though, apparently, and the new number is a little higher. They still had a historic voter turnout. So there is some there are some eye rolls, but it's not such that it's ridiculous.
Not as bad as it sounded yesterday?
Yeah, probably not as bad as it sounded yesterday, but still, I don't know that anybody completely believes it.
Do y'all follow Nate Silver stuff at all on 538?
I follow him some. Yeah, I follow a lot of people. I look at him. I look at Real Clear. I look at the Trafalgar Group. I like politics. I look at a lot of stuff.
I do too. I'm a math nerd. I love 538 stuff, although it seems like in this election cycle they've maybe added a little more opinion than just data in the past. But it would be fascinating for a stat-driven website like that to dive into some of the things like what you talked about with Wisconsin yesterday. Like what's the statistical probability that something like this could actually happen? Like
Actually, I saw somebody
so
do it.
dramatically higher.
It was 1 in 7,000.
Where'd you see that?
I can't remember. I've read so much. It was 1 in 7,000 that the voter turnout would be that high.
That's
in Milwaukee County. And they compared it to what the turnout was in Milwaukee County for Obama in 2008, which was obviously a historic, motivated election.
Yeah, Ole Miss had about probably somewhere around 10 times greater odds to beat Florida in Gainesville in 2008. I think they were 31-point dogs.
And they won.
Still to this day, one of the craziest games I ever covered. I remember leaving that stadium and going, did that really just happen? I kept thinking that was a weird weekend. Because the debate was in Oxford.
Yeah.
The Cubs clinched the Central, and then Ole Miss beats Florida in a weird game.
And then lost to South Carolina the next week because they did read their press clippings all week.
For sure.
It was they were really feeling themselves.
Well, they were still talking about Florida on Thursday after that game. Yeah.
It was like, hey,
yeah, you could see that coming.
So I'm 41 years old. I'm right in between you two guys. Worst Republican presidential candidate ever, John McCain or Bob Dole?
Dole.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Dole had no chance, and they knew it. That was a Lifetime Achievement Award.
They knew they had no chance.
They had no one to
give a Lifetime Achievement Award.
McCain probably had a small chance until he
he needed to attack. He had to go.
He had to go after Obama,
and he would
have to go after his inexperience, and he was going to have to get uncomfortable and get into the birther stuff, and he was going to have to do that, and he wasn't willing to do it, and then he was going to have to get into the Muslim stuff because we were just 7 years removed from 9/11. And he wasn't willing to do that, and then he went. He put Palin on his ticket, and that was the end.
Well, and I thought she would say all that kind of stuff, but then she ends up being complete and utterly ignorant. And
yes, you nailed it. Her interview with Katie Couric.
That was it.
And people forget because we live in 2020 today.
Yeah.
In 2008, the Today Show was a big deal. Matt Lauer would take a break from raping women, and he would come.
On like CBS Evening News at that time, wasn't she?
Was she not
or
on?
Was she still? Was that the Today Show?
I don't know. One way or the other, wherever she was, those shows were big at the time, and that was the hit for her. It was over.
Yeah, it happened. It happened fast, and I listened to Lindsey Graham's podcast because you turned me on to it. And the Obama-McCain election, I had forgotten about the meeting that they called at the White House after the financial collapse when Obama just took over and McCain just sat there like a stump. And
wasn't that a fascinating story?
Because Pelosi set it up.
McCain calls Bush and says, we got to have this meeting. And Bush is like, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
And knows he has to invite Obama too.
And so he's like, well, come on.
Like, dude.
Yeah, and he invites McCain and Obama and all that stuff. And they all come in, and Bush kind of lets them run the meeting, and Obama runs the meeting, and everybody walks out of there going, "Damn!"
Yeah.
It was a double. Like it was a double damn because Obama looked like a president, and McCain did not.
Yeah, that's been an awesome podcast. I mean, I mentioned this. I called you guys earlier this year, but it just kind of reinforces to me that things have kind of always been this way. It's just that everybody has a voice now through Twitter and Facebook and everything else. And because everybody has a voice, everybody thinks their opinion matters. And the truth is there's not that many opinions that matter.
No, it's a good point. I mean, yeah, politics have always been heated. People have always attacked one another. I mean, that's just part
human nature and all. I mean,
it's par for the course.
Yeah.
That's why you guys have got a show. I'm calling in right now because I think people care what I have to say.
I mean, I care, Mark. I care right
really
at this moment, Mark. I care more about what you have to say than what I have to say. So if it means anything to you,
you can hang out for 45 minutes if you'd like.
Yeah.
Just take the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you'd like to take over, go for it.
Well, look, guys, I appreciate it. Y'all do awesome work.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate
you.
All right.
Patrick says Texas will be blue soon. I don't know. We'll see. The numbers didn't really move in Texas.
And that was with Trump. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, Georgia's pretty damn purple right now.
Georgia's really purple. What you see is that Atlanta and Charlotte have changed the game in the Southeast.
Mm-hmm.
What in the world?
Arizona ended up separating pretty good. 2-point advantage there.
Oh, did it move? Because they dropped some more.
It was 50.3 to 48.3 right when it flashed a second
Oh,
ago.
how about that? I mean, it's over. I'm surprised people don't think it's over.
Yes, it's over.
It's over. It's been over. It was over Tuesday night. In the same way that you knew in 2000 that Bush had won. Daniel Cotto says Mississippi will be purple in 20 years. You can't predict what 20 years are going to look like. There's no way. Who knows?
California might be red in 20 years.
I mean, look, the Democratic Party today, on this very day, is worried sick about the 2020 midterms. No one knows what anything's going to look like. We live in a world that moves fast. The news cycle goes quick.
Well, I mean,
the 2024 presidential election is likely to be between two new people. Perhaps President Harris, whose likability numbers are lower than Trump's or Hillary Clinton's, against I don't know who. And all you have to know about what the Republicans think of Trump, look how few people are coming to his defense right now.
pushing away from that.
Pushing away, baby. Yeah.
Hey, it's over? Okay,
Yeah.
well, hey.
You've been taking shots. You're on your own, big boy.
Yeah, I mean, looking here.
More Arizona votes expected soon. So Trump's still up 3,400 in Georgia, up 5,300. Oh, Biden up. Okay, I got it. See, I have it on CNN. I'm so used to having it on Fox in here. We had CNN on another TV. We had Fox on, and here we'd move back and forth.
I was looking to see what the margins were in 2000. Gore pulled popular vote 48.4 to 47.9. 50,999,897. So 13 away from 51 million.
Okay.
And Bush was at 50.4 million. So
Super
about 600,000 total votes.
Yeah, we're more divided than we've ever been. And I've said that too, because I think we are, but we've been really divided for 20 years.
271, 266. Something change on districts?
I'm not sure.
I mean, I guess. But yeah, it was 271, 266. Bush carried 30 states. Gore carried 20 plus D.C.
Mexican Narwhal says the football game is on. You're talking to two people, though, who really like politics. So
537 votes in Florida.
Yeah, it was nothing.
537.
You know when they went back and did an independent deal of the votes that Bush picked up votes?
Did he?
Yeah.
537.
The end of the day, it was just a super tight election.
48.847 to 48.838.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, a town the size of anything could have swung the entire
It was
election.
essentially a statistical tie.
Yeah. I still think Florida ought to copy Maine and Nebraska and do 3 different electoral areas. Give the Panhandle some votes, give Miami some votes, and give
Different
Middle Florida
states.
some votes.
Yeah. Hey, who's this?
This is Ben. Are we only asking political questions tonight,
No. You talk about whatever you want to talk about.
I just have a question. What happened? Kiffin at the beginning of the year was the way him and the people around the program were talking like he was all world. But what happened with Brandon Mack, and why has he not played if the defensive line has been so terrible this year? I'll let y'all go. Appreciate it.
Okay. I mean, Kiffin doesn't do personnel questions, and we're all on Zoom, so it's kind of hard to say. My guess is as simple as this: he's just not ready.
When it's the Mark Brett situation.
I mean,
he's not playing the guy, and I don't mean that rudely, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's
sure.
And he's not using this. I mean, Kiffin's trying to win some football games. He's trying to recruit. He's not using this as, hey, this is just a complete for a year, and I'm going to play a bunch of dudes just to play a bunch of dudes. He's playing the games as though they matter.
Yeah. I mean, they don't play guys until they're ready to play them. Sometimes it's possible that guys just aren't as good as the hype.
Well, they're also young.
Sure.
I mean, we have such a instant gratification with recruits that, you know, if a dude takes a few years, he redshirts and then plays his sophomore year. He's 3 years into the program. He's still got 3 years to play if he doesn't leave early. I mean, you're going to have some guys that just take a little while. I mean, you know, you saw that. I mean, for me, like back in the day, you saw that with like the Brian Bennett's and like people like that, where it's like, hey, just you end up getting a damn good
Woody
player,
Hamilton.
but it takes a couple years. Well, that's a really good example, yeah.
Woody Hamilton wasn't ready until he was ready.
Sam Williams needs to get to the quarterback a little more. I was looking at his stats today. He is not. He's not done what they need him to do.
No, he hasn't had a great year.
What is the football score? What's going on?
Oh, let's see.
7-0.
Packers at 49ers, by the way. I've never been to that stadium. I've been to Lambeau a couple of times.
Well, that stadium's not very old. That's Levi's over in Santa Clara.
Green Bay up 7-0, 1:43 to go in the first.
The Braves won 4 different Silver Sluggers today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Freeman, Acuna.
Azuna.
Oh, yeah, he had a great year.
And
thank God that happened in a Braves uniform and not the other uniform.
That'd have gotten your attention a little more throughout the season, wouldn't it?
I don't hate the Braves. The Braves are fine.
Darno.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see. Acuna, Freeman, and Azuna all won their second one, and then Darno won his first one.
Oh.
The White Sox led the American League with 3 Silver Sluggers.
Robert. He didn't get one?
Tim Anderson.
Oh, yeah, Anderson, for sure.
Eloy Jimenez and Jose Abreu.
Oh, Eloy won one?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to make me hurt for years.
That's one, too.
Yeah.
Mike Trout won his 8th Silver Slugger. Although he was not great this year. 281.
No, he had an average year.
1746.
There's a lot of home runs in 60 games.
Oh, no, that's true. Donovan Solano, Tatis Jr., Machado, Juan Soto, Mookie Betts. Those are your National League ones. Salvador Perez, DJ LeMahieu, Hernandez with the Blue Jays, and Nelson Cruz are your Silver Slugger winners. LeMahieu's turned into a damn good pro.
So this stadium in Santa Clara is completely empty, right? You can't have any fans at all?
Is that just cutouts up there?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I mean, hell, Cal called the game off one test.
Yeah.
One.
Asymptomatic, and they think it's probably a false positive.
So they did even a more hyper version of the Big Ten where, hey, we're going to tell you can play, but you can't play. We're going to put rules in place.
We're going to wait for this election to be done, damn it.
I mean, geez.
Should the Cubs trade Bryant this offseason? Yes. It's time to tear it up. Ooh, that was a hell of a... Oh, he didn't catch it. Oh, he did. Wait a minute. Watch. This replay is going to be wild. At first, I saw a hell of a catch, and then the ball comes out. Let's see. Catch. One. 2. But he doesn't finish it. Oh, that's going to get reviewed.
Yep.
Catch. 1 foot. 2 foot. He's in, but you have to finish the catch, right?
You do have to finish the catch.
And the ball comes out.
Yeah. He did not complete the catch through whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. But the ball comes out when his elbow hits.
I don't think that's a catch. Right?
I don't know. He catches the ball, gets 1 foot in, 2 feet in, and then the ground causes the fumble, if you will. What bothers me about that rule is if that play happens at the 46-yard line in the middle of the field, it's a catch.
Because the play's over.
Yeah, because the ground caused the fumble.
As long as you've...
The ground caused the fumble. He caught the ball, 1 foot, 2 feet.
But it's 2 feet and a football move. Even in the middle of the field.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, hell, I don't know.
So if that's the case, the rules suck.
The rules are bad.
The rules suck. That's.
Is there a college game you're into this weekend?
I'm kind of interested in Boise State by BYU, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that. I mean, something a little different.
It's tomorrow night.
I'd love for Tom Allen to beat Michigan
Yeah,
on Saturday. I didn't pick them, but I would love for that to happen. Because I think you're right. I think Indiana is the happiest story of the
for sure.
the country. I think that's fair.
I'm kind of looking forward to Saturday. The Florida Georgia games will be interesting. Notre Dame Clemson will be interesting. I'm interested in Arkansas Tennessee. I'm gonna light the grill.
What time's that game?
6:30. Both those games at 6:30. So that's a flip game.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to LB's tomorrow. Get some steaks.
What are you gonna get?
I'm gonna get some steaks, some shrimp.
Okay.
Some jalapeno poppers.
Just the duck poppers?
No, the
just
the
straight
jalapenos.
jalapeno poppers?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah.
No, State's going to beat Vandy Saturday.
I think so.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
If
they don't, we got a different conversation on Monday.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
That one game that they're going to win.
Yeah.
They're going to win 30-6 or something.
Something like that.
I mean, they suck.
I don't know if you watched the Butcher versus the Spin Instructor. Campbell found Odd Shark.
Oh.
Which was interesting because she found like picks. She said, "Well, I found Odd Shark and it has," and I was like, "Really?" I was so impressed.
Sounds like cheating. If I'm Greg, I have a problem.
There's no rules. There's no rules that you can't use Odd Shark.
Anything under 24 points, and State had a horrific day. I mean, yeah, Vandy can't win that football game.
I don't think so. That's the worst team I've ever seen. Ole Miss could have scored 80 points Saturday.
They are far worse than even the end of the Nut era when they didn't care.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They would just luck into a win because somebody would break something. And
Maybe.
do something.
That team was so high.
You missed the La Tech game.
But I watched it on my computer.
Oh, well.
And they were high. And when I say high, I mean high.
Literally.
Like prop whatever it was, high.
Oh, jeez.
So that was not a touchdown.
Yeah, I told you. No.
Didn't finish the catch.
You have to.
Isn't that so weird? Because it looked like a catch. The eye says that's a catch.
What bothers me about it is it's in the end zone, and we've been taught our entire lives.
If you cross the plane, it's a touchdown.
Once you get 2 feet in with the ball in the end zone, the play's over.
I know. So he catches the ball 1 foot, 2 foot, and the elbow hits the ground, which is what knocks the ball out.
Yeah.
Which we're all taught the ground can't cause the fumble. It's so inconsistent. Hey, who's this? This Grind?
It's Grind, man.
Hey, man, what's up?
Not much, man. Not much. Is it just me, or does it feel like I know it's a bye week, But doesn't it feel like it's just about to be a start of like another season, more like, or is it just me?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I haven't really thought about it.
Okay, because I mean, like it's just I don't know, like I guess it's just part of like the oddity of what 2020 is, but it just feels like like a whole nother season is just about to like instead of it being one full season with a bye week. I feel like you got this season, then then the next season or whatnot. But it's just like I said, it could just be me.
No, I mean I get what you're saying. I mean it's just such a weird year, and the bye week comes on the week when the country's so distracted that like and on Monday we got Kiffin, but the DeMarcus Thomas had gotten hurt right before Kiffin was supposed to talk to us, so Monday didn't happen, and then Tuesday was an off day because of the election. And then we got him on Wednesday, and it was just such a weird week. And on Wednesday, we were still waiting for election results and stuff. That I don't know. From my perspective, it's just been such a strange week that I haven't even really thought about football. I guess because I knew they didn't have a game, and so I was like, whatever.
I got you, man. I got you.
In some ways, it feels like, Ryan, at least for Ole Miss, that they have one more game left in that segment of the season because we've been talking about, hey, if they could get to a certain record after South Carolina, because the Vandy South Carolina double dip was kind of winnable for Ole Miss, and at least in our heads early in the year, before the year, you thought LSU would at least be competent. So it's, hey, they've got A&M, you've got the rivalry against State, then you play LSU. What can you do in those final three after you try to get to a certain number? But I mean, now that's all thrown out because LSU sucks and State's not good. And A&M is good, and they're even better in a stupid year like this. I think that's fair with A&M.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I give A&M that. I give A&M that. But I need to see at least 3 consecutive weeks of good ball from them. I think who did they play? Did they play in the battle between Florida and Arkansas?
They play South Carolina. Oh, who they have left? You mean?
No, like
State.
Okay, after they beat Florida.
They beat State 28-14.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that game wasn't as close as the score because the State got a pick 6 on a ball off a helmet.
Yeah. Okay. See, the only game I've really sat down and watched was the Florida game, and I was really impressed how they used their running game to come back. That was real impressive. So
they were really good last week against Arkansas. I mean, and Arkansas's not a good team. Don't get me wrong, but Arkansas had a good plan, and they tried to execute the plan, and A&M would just have none of it.
I got it, man. Next week, where's the Ole Miss South Carolina game at?
Oxford.
Man, to be honest, I think that game might be tougher than the LSU game for Ole Miss.
Could be. I expect.
But I know now. I think if you made me pick, gun to my head, I say Ole Miss because I think Ole Miss can beat South Carolina at home. Put up, have enough firepower.
Yeah, it's just going to be a high-scoring game in all likelihood. You get what I mean. Like someone in the thread asked about, is Ole Miss going to get better at linebacker on the bye week or whatever, and you're like, no. I mean, they are what they are.
No.
You're 6 games in. You kind of are what you are. Ole Miss is going to score a lot of points. They're going to give up a lot of points. They're going to play interesting games. The South Carolina game is winnable. It's losable. The A&M game is probably not very winnable, frankly. Mississippi State's really winnable, kind of losable, and then LSU is. I think it's a coin toss today.
Well, yeah, and see, man, what I think is so fascinating, man. I think what would be fun is I say going into the last week of the season. You know how in your weekend thoughts you do your daily SEC rankings.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll just be so cool to just see how how your rankings just fluctuated from week 1 to the end of the season. Because think about it, man. If somebody would like the director of rivals, whatever, would have came to you and Chase after week 1 and said, all right, I need your final SEC predictions. I'm giving you guys I'm $2 million a piece, to go on vacation or whatnot. I love the work you guys done, but I need you guys to give me your final projections for the SEC or whatnot. I mean, you guys probably would have had Mississippi State finishing in the top 3, top 2 of the West.
Oh, for sure. After 1 week, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying. And then you would have been
and A&M almost dead last because of Vanderbilt.
Yeah, because A&M barely beat Vanderbilt. That would have been like, oh, they're done.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't be like, oh, Arkansas still trash. They still gonna be at the bottom.
Well, it's like every week
just,
that I do it. Every week that I do it, the first four are easy in some order. It's Alabama, Georgia, A&M, Florida, and then it's like, okay, well, who's fifth? And I put Auburn there because they're winning, but I'm like, God, I mean, that game could have gone the other way, and that game could have gone the other way, and then they blow out LSU, and you're like, okay, well, I guess they're fifth, and then I look at who's sixth, and it's like, I think this past week,
I had just like an Easter egg hunt. Okay.
It is. I had Arkansas sixth, and I had Ole Miss seventh, and I'm like, well, how the hell do you justify that? And I'm like, well, I could put Arkansas 11th and Ole Miss 12th. And I could probably justify that, but it was like, well, Arkansas's won. They probably should have won at Auburn, and here's Ole Miss with this offense, and Tennessee sort of sucks, and Kentucky sort of fell off, and Ole Miss beat it. The league's weird, man. From like 5 through 12, the league is this. It's like a glob. You know what I mean? It's like you take a bunch of. You take an ice cream. You go to the yogurt place and you get the yogurt and then you start just throwing toppings on top of it. And after a while, all the toppings are mixed up and you're like, so what toppings do you have? And you're like, I don't know. I just got a bunch of stuff. And so it doesn't make sense really.
Okay, man. And see, this my last thing if the football gods came down to you and Chase and both said, okay, look, you guys, since you guys, been so, faithful to us and whatnot, we're gonna grant you guys the power. You get to control the outcome of one of these two games.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, it's going to be an upset. So basically, you can either choose that Vanderbilt beats Mississippi State or that Arkansas beats Tennessee.
Oh, well, that's easy for me. I'm gonna have Arkansas beat Tennessee because my daughter will have a good night. That's easy.
I don't know. I got enough state friends. I'd have high comedy on Saturday. Now, whoa, no.
Yeah.
Facebook would be lit if I can get Vanderbilt to beat Mississippi State on Saturday.
Chase is much more of a Mississippian than I am.
Yeah, I mean, I can have a big time on Saturday night if I got that now.
I got you. I'm gonna get these comments off the air, but I am glad to get you guys because I'll probably say about it. Whenever the NCAA was deep in the pockets of my guy Bruce Pearl, you guys were talking about, hey, I don't think he's gonna be here much longer. All this success, all this other stuff y'all was saying. And look at us now. And I want to say in the past 3 years, bro, Bruce Pearl has won over 80-something games at Auburn. That is crazy.
Hey, Grind, all you got to know is Will Wade is still at LSU. I mean, that tells you everything, doesn't it?
Man, but I'm just saying, like as a kid, like I used, in the chat we were talking about, UAB basketball, and man, if I'm pretty sure people in Mississippi don't know, but man, like my dad used to take me to UAB basketball games when I was little. And UAB basketball was competitive.
Yeah.
This was I remember when I went to the game when UAB lost to that Memphis team that had Derrick Rose, Chris Douglas Roberts, and all those guys at Bartow Arena. And had Mike Anderson as a coach. UAB used to be a good, top 25 program. Honestly, the best basketball program consistently in the state of Alabama. When I was younger, going, elementary school and high school.
Where'd you go to high school in Birmingham?
Middle school. You said what now?
Where did you go to high school in Birmingham?
Clay Chalford High School.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, the rival of one of y'all commits, I forgot, who goes to Hewitt Trussell and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that area pretty good.
What year did you play high school? Because I might have covered one of your games.
I graduated in 2013.
Okay, so you were gone. I was gone before that. I hate that I even asked that question because now Grind, I feel really old. So when I was in the late 90s, I covered a whole lot of like Hewitt Trussville and Clay Chalkville, and I would cover the Thursday night game out at what was the name of that stadium? It was near the mall.
Lawson.
Yeah. They had the old Legion Field turf.
Right down Lawson.
So I would cover like Jackson Olin. It was like Jackson Olin and Parker, and I can't remember. Man, it's been a long time.
Oh my goodness! Did you have security, bro? Did you have security?
No, I mean I always loved covering those games. Those were fun games to cover because my wife and I lived in Irondale, and so it was like a 5-minute drive.
Okay, yeah.
It was like a quick little drive, and so I'd actually I'd go home to write.
Irondale's a little safer than Lawson, though, man.
Yeah, how about that?
Oh yeah. I was just a little 2-star athlete, man. All I had was an offer from Austin P back in the day. But yeah, that's all I was getting, man. Just wanted to get y'all opinions on the Auburn basketball program, and that's it, man.
All right, thanks, Grind. Appreciate you.
You guys have a good night, man.
Later, Grind.
My opinion on Auburn basketball is it's always fun to talk to Pearl.
Oh,
Pearl's great. He's a great quote. Like
he gets it.
When Ole Miss beat Auburn in Kermit's first year, I just kind of asked a basic question and got this 7-paragraph answer.
He was tired of seeing Kermit Davis. Because Kermit was giving him crap at him in middle over the years.
Well, he talks about to this day he'll talk about how it's hard to beat Kermit's teams.
Yeah.
Kermit sort of has his number a little bit.
I mean, and Andy had Auburn's number. He won over. And
yeah,
over
Andy
and
beat
over
Auburn a ton. Yeah. Who's the quarterback? That's not Garoppolo, is it?
No, he's out tonight.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I'm telling you, every damn body's out.
Dude, I'm telling you, I haven't kept up this week.
7-3 pack.
Pearl or AK, who's a better interview? Ooh, that is close. Sort of depends on what you're after.
What's the setting?
Yeah. They're both great. Here's the thing, man.
I think Pearl's better in a press conference and Andy's better anywhere else.
Here's the truth. Basketball coaches are so much better interviews than football coaches.
Well, they're in on the joke a little bit. Like it's not so damn.
Well, like Frank Martin is great. Great. Phenomenal. Calipari is great.
He is. He's funny.
Yeah. The guy at Tennessee, Barnes, great.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Terrific.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of, like you said, kind of in on it.
Yeah. Not many of them really suck.
Musselman's a weird dude, but a pretty good interview. Wade's weird. He's not a great interview either. Buzz Williams, great interview. A&M, fantastic. Especially for visiting media where he doesn't hate you. Ben Howland's a good interview. Good answers.
Williams is so much more cerebral. He kind of thinks it out a little, and it's not as quippy. Yeah.
We've had AK on. I'll get AK on. I think sometimes AK is a little reluctant to come on this show because he doesn't want to do anything that makes it look like he's stepping on Kermit's toes. Kermit,
you think so?
A little bit. Kermit and AK are good friends. There's a lot of respect there, mutually. Kermit likes Andy, and Andy likes Kermit. I mean, it's not personal.
No.
At all.
Andy was kind of relieved when that thing finally ended that
Yeah,
day.
of course.
I mean, you were
12 years is a long time.
You were busy, but
I was on a jury. What are the odds?
I mean, some bitch.
I'm sitting on that story, and I know I have it.
You might got arrested trying to.
Yeah. Well, the bailiff kept saying, you got to get off your phone. I'm like, I can't. Not today.
I'm here. Okay.
I mean, I'm doing the best I can, but I got to work.
This will not. This won't wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is not.
If you'd like to kick me out of here, I'll be happy to leave. I mean, what are the odds in that moment? Not only do you get on the jury of a capital murder case, but you become the damn foreman.
Oh, you did.
I was the foreman of that.
See, I forgot because you were like, hey, I got to go back. And finally, I got the call. You went, hey, I'm like 45 minutes. I'm out. Like,
yeah.
It is what it is.
I'd go check into the hotel.
Yeah, because it got sequestered.
Yeah, I was so pissed off.
I forgot about that.
That was an emotional thing too. Damn.
Which one was that?
I can't think of his name. He got thrown out because somebody on the jury did something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that.
Yep. 3 days of my life I can't get back.
This just feels boring, this game, for some reason.
It's because we're watching like history unfold on the other channels.
Yeah.
Now I can't watch him. I flipped to Fox and it was Hannity. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
So
Real
Trump's
quick.
lead has been cut to 2,500
in Georgia.
Yeah, but Biden's lead in Arizona is down to 46,000. It's crazy.
What'd you do during the Auburn game, Grind? Did you check out both shows back and forth? You just hang out with Jay once he started? What'd you do? What was the plan there? Yeah, I thought that was Nick Mullins. I did think that. Andy will do it. Andy will do the show. That's not much of a problem. Yeah, Biden closing gap in Pennsylvania, I see at this point. 48,000 now there. Yeah, as I wrote in the chat, I don't know about Ole Miss's baseball schedule. I'll find out. I will get that to you as soon as I can. I do know they have that opener in Arlington where they Ole Miss, State, and Arkansas play Texas Tech, and TCU. So kind of an SEC Big 12 challenge at the new Rangers facility there in Arlington. You can get crowds and media and everything it's somewhat normal in February. It should be a pretty fun event. That should be good. I've been looking forward to that one because they've got that one, and then one year they're supposed to be going to Dodgertown and do like the UCLA, USC, and somebody else thing too. But that thing kept getting pushed back, and I don't know what year it is. But nonetheless, that's then. I really would like to read a story on when all these dudes that work the little magic wall thing sleep.
Yeah,
what their days have been like the last 72 hours.
John King of CNN and Bill Hemmer of Fox have not left the places where they are.
I mean, I'm beginning to wonder if they really are just sleeping on cots for a few hours. And
they're both really good.
Oh, they're fantastic.
I mean, they really are.
No, baseball is not open to the public. There is no media and scouts are the only people allowed inside inter squads.
What do you think it'll be like during the season? Are you covering via Zoom?
I still think it's open.
Got all your masks ready?
I think it's open. The mask is a good question. I don't know about that.
I was listening to Dr. Drew on Adam Carolla, and he was insisting that masks work as long as they're clean and you wear them appropriately. I'm like, well. Feels like tonight's the night that the networks call the race, doesn't it? Not that the networks matter, because it doesn't matter until the Electoral College votes and calls the race, but
yeah, I mean, why not? Because there's no without a court situation, there's no path.
right.
So what?
Yeah, Travis says it better be open and packed. It's not going to be packed. Forget it. Not happening.
Prediction on Grove being open 2021. I don't know.
I'll bet no.
Would you?
Yep. Hope I'm wrong. Happily eat that crow.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the opener again. Like I told you, that Arlington thing. I mean, I'd love to go. It'll be a really fun weekend, but I doubt it's open. I doubt fans and media are involved in that.
Probably not.
I mean,
That's like I'd love to go to Ruston, but I bet it's closed. I mean, no joke. I'd love to go to Ruston and cover a couple of games.
yeah.
Just to go home.
So I don't know. Line's still open. Anybody like to get in?
Himmer admitted there's a message scroll next to the wall that helps him out a lot. I'm sure he does, but it's still damn good work. I mean, I'm sure John King has some stuff that's helping him along here, but it's still
You still got to know what you're doing.
it's still really good work. I mean, I don't want to minimize the work that either of those men are doing. It's really strong stuff, and it adds to the broadcast in incredible ways. And you have to really you can't just wing it. You have to do a lot of homework to understand all of the different counties in Pennsylvania and Ohio and Wisconsin and Florida.
Oh, the prep is just ridiculous.
Yeah. They're both, whether you like CNN or Fox or whatever, if you can't admit that both of those guys are tremendous at what they do, well, then screw you. You're just not being fair.
Technology-wise, election nights might have progressed as far as entertaining viewers and informing them as much as almost anything else with technology. You go back and watch a Decision 92 or something like that
Sure.
and go, oh, my God, it's a
totally different deal.
deal.
Well, the night that the Bush Gore, when Tim Russert pulled out the whiteboard.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, wow, look at his whiteboard. Now it's like, this is, no. I mean, we're breaking this down county by county. It's terrific. I mean, both of these guys are really good. I've watched both of them for 3 days now, and they're sharp.
Well, there's a reason they're the dudes doing it.
Yeah.
The networks just didn't go, hey, raise your hand if you'd like to be our wall guy on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, they've both been really impressive. Because I was flipping around both Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and it was impressive work. Should vote the same way we get our driver's permits. So go to the courthouse? It's interesting. I do think my 4-day weekend makes some sense. Have we thought about doing a cookbook? Kyle Wilson, thanks for the gift. Have we thought about doing a cookbook?
We do have a bunch of Kelly English recipes from over the years and stuff. We could. Here's the problem with the cookbook. Yes, I have actually thought about it. There's a lot of shit.
Have you really?
Yeah. I've thought about compiling things we've gotten from, because you could do alcohol sections. I mean, we could talk to everybody. We could talk to Jonathan.
Burton.
We could do a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, Burton stuff. Some of Burton's stuff is really good.
I mean, we could do a lot of that stuff. They have to be designed and then they have to be published. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's unless you find a publisher willing to take us on.
Well, that's like my girls really want me to finish the book that I've written about their stuffed animals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the thing with it is it's not, I wouldn't even know where to start trying to get it published. I have no idea even where to go.
Because self-publishing is not the answer.
No, I don't want to do that Steve Robertson bullshit. I mean, like a real public.
You got a big deal? He's self-published?
Well, he didn't even have an editor, clearly.
It's back there somewhere. You still have it?
I think I accidentally threw it away.
Did you?
Yeah.
It got lost?
Yeah, it got lost in a trash can. It was such shitty journalism.
It was journalism?
Whatever you want to call it. It's horrible.
It was a bestseller. I saw it.
Yeah. Whatever.
He's got a new one now too, right? There's 2 or 3, right?
I don't know. Seriously though, I wouldn't. I could finish the book in a few days because I've written all of it, and I've played around with this. I talked about it.
Yeah.
We found the giraffe, and so we've had this family text going where I've written all these kind of like stories about what the giraffe has done over the last 15 years, and the girls are like, "You should make this a book." But I wouldn't know where to put the book. Where do you send the book? How does that go about? I have no idea. And so my answer is like, it's not good enough. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And yet, if you told me that I was going to perish in the next year,
find a way to do it.
I would want to do that to leave that for my kids more than I would want to do anything else. Like, Caroline has Larry the leopard that she's had for 17 years, and I've written about Larry. And so it would be funny to leave that for her.
Be waiting a while if you're waiting on me to get some tattoos. Probably not going to be my.
You're not a tattoo person?
Not going to be my bag, I don't think.
Eric says the Neal IT self-help book. No, Eric. No, sir. I've gotten better, but not that good.
Yeah, no.
No. I've improved dramatically, though.
Pretty seamless on what you actually try to do right now. So,
I mean, I've gotten much better. What's Kiffin doing? I don't know. I would assume He was really worried about all the guys leaving and going to different places and coming back. I think he's worried that a COVID outbreak is on its way. But I would guess that he went fishing.
Nothing for him to do here.
You can't recruit.
Any final calls? What we got? Anybody want to call in and chat? Because we do not have an hour of material tonight to just hang out and keep it going.
You have a favorite children's book that you read to Carly, or Good Night Moon, or
I mean, she's read all those. She was into the llama books for a long time. She likes a dog book right now called What Pete Ate, and it like goes through the alphabet. Yeah, she's got her favorites.
The girls, maybe Carson
the
was
Giving Tree. She's liked a lot.
That was like Purple Cat, what do you see? I see a white dog looking at me.
Oh, yeah.
White dog,
that
what do you
that was
see?
a huge favorite.
That's a good book.
Yeah, it's like Brown Bear and the whole.
Yeah,
it's
Brown Bear. What do you see?
Yeah.
I see a purple cat looking at me. Yeah, I like that. That's a good book. I miss those days.
You miss those?
A little bit, no doubt.
I think I picked Georgia to beat Florida.
You did. I picked Florida.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Would I be mad if you made a video game about us? No, I don't care. It's cool. Hey, we got a call. Let's see what we got. Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Brandon from Hatley.
Vernon from Hatley?
No, Brandon from Hatley.
Oh, Brandon. Okay. Gotcha.
So, hey, Chase, I have a question from you. I'm from Amory, and you are too.
I am.
And I live out here in Parham community.
Yep.
Are you kidding us folks?
That is my people. Yep. That is that is 100% my area. Yep. My grandmother still lives out there.
Well, is your grandfather the one that used to be the principal at Hatley?
No, obviously we're related, but that's not my immediate family. That's not like my grandfather or uncle or anything like that. No.
Okay, because actually we're renting a house from him.
Oh, really?
And we actually live on his property. So I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Of course we're all related, but no, that's not my immediate family.
So do you ever get back to Amory much? Do you ever visit?
This sounds terrible, and I don't mean it that way, but I really haven't been there at all, other than like some funerals and stuff like that over the last. I mean, it's an hour and 15 minutes away, and I can't say I frequent it very often. So no, I used to be much better about it. I mean, my grandmother used to have the whole Sunday lunch thing, but yeah, that's not been a thing lately. I probably should more than I have, but I have not. I probably couldn't even tell you all the stuff that was like open or closed now. I mean, unless Corey calls in and wants to tell us about it on the show.
Yeah, hey, you know we got Jackson now, don't you? We got Jackson in Amory.
Oh, really?
Burger restaurant.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. I saw one was going in New Albany.
Yeah, and we got Track Supply. I know the caller called in a while back.
Yeah, Corey told me about the TSC. He was very proud of that. Corey was very high on the Tractor Supply.
Yeah, that's big things around here, you know. That's big things.
What brand of ketchup did you put on your Meat Lovers pizza?
Heinz. Hunt's ketchup sucks.
Heinz?
Yes.
That is amazing. I'm hating on Heinz like that.
I didn't. I said Hunt's sucks.
Well, Hunt's pretty good, too.
It tastes like the really... I mean, ketchup's one of those things you need to pay a little more for.
Yeah, that's true, but how about barbecue sauce?
I like really vinegar sauces more than anything else from a barbecue sauce. I'm typically not one to use the more tomato based sauces.
Well, for me, it's Sweet Baby Ray's.
Okay,
that's awesome. I mean, you shouldn't have. Hey, I was gonna give y'all a recipe real quick. You see, I called in last week. I told you that that I have a Peruvian wife and everything. But also, see, my dad's been married to a Peruvian for 15 years. And so, she cooks, Peruvian food all the time. And it's one thing that she calls It's nothing crazy. It's called lomo saltado, or in Spanish, it's lomo saltado.
Okay.
And what's interesting about it is it's steak strips cut up, mixed in with French fries. You got sauteed onions and peppers, which is sauteed. You can use Dale's or Worcestershire sauce or soy sauce. Do that with, and it's that over top of French fries, and it's something that's always pretty good.
Wait, what?
Just try it sometime.
So you take the steak and you cut it into strips with French fries, onions, and peppers, and you put that over more French fries?
No. If you break it down, the process, it'd be that you put the steak in the pan, you saute it, but you also basically you saute your steak with your peppers and onions, all together,
Gotcha.
So after that, you fry your French fries or bake them however you want to like it. Then after that, you mix it all together. No, it ain't nothing like that. No.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That sounds good.
Also, another dish that I actually about opened a restaurant. So I don't know how I'd sell it in Amory, Mississippi, but down there in Peru, because I've been there about 4 or 5 times in my life, and I was there for 6 months last year. About 5 months last year. And also down there, they have these restaurants called Pollo La Brasa, which basically it's like basically you go to Walmart, you get a rotisserie chicken, that's what we did a lot sometime when I was younger, after church and stuff. But it's basically like that, but it's over an open flame, like an open grill.
Okay.
It's just that French fries, and I think that's so pretty good. What y'all think?
That sounds good. Now I'm good there.
Yeah, and so instead of having like Walmart something had like an oven that has rotisserie going around it, it's actually like that. But instead of that doing it, it's the same machine, but it's over like an open flame. Like they make like stone ovens, for pizza and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's basically build the stone and have it with a rotisserie chicken going over it.
Okay.
So how do you think that would go over if you open one of those in Amory? What would happen?
I think that it'd be better than KFC, personally. But here, KFC is it. Everybody's popping on that. I mean, the problem is that if you could sell it at the price point that make money, that's the issue.
Yeah, because
it's all about.
Yeah.
The KFC has the Taco Bell in with it, though, right, Namer? Isn't that right?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I thought
yes, it has. And that is terrible.
That's what I thought. Okay.
But what's crazy is that that's the only. I thought about this. I know this. I said like a few years ago. I researched this out, and it said that like $15,000, something like that, you can pay to start a Chick-fil-A franchise. All you got to do is pay that money, and they'll help you along the way. I tell you what, now Chick-fil-A would do good in Amory.
You think
Everybody
so?
I know.
Chick-fil-A do good anywhere.
Chick-fil-A's about volume, though. You got to make sure you have enough volume to make that happen.
That's true too. Hey, and I just thought about something a while ago before I called y'all. I remember years ago. That's probably 3 or 4 years ago when you first when I first started hearing you, Neal. He's talking about, hey, where's the hand raised guy in the room? And this show is called Hand Raised Guys. I thought about 4 years ago making a podcast called Hand Raised Guys after that, but I've never done it.
Thank God you didn't. Yeah. We wouldn't be able to do this right now.
Good thing, because we'd all be fighting each other in courts.
I thought about that. I swear it did. Like, hey, it's like, hey.
It'd be us versus Brandon from Hatley, followed by Trump versus Pennsylvania.
That's what it is. But anyway, it's always nice to talk to y'all, and you do a great job. You have a nice night.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
Thank
Brandon.
you.
Just never know what's going to happen. Peruvian food.
Got our Monroe County update for the week.
Yep.
Got a lot of stuff knocked out there at the same time. I did not expect one guy to go from Parham community to Peruvian. That was not necessarily where we thought that was headed. But
no, who would have thought?
Yeah.
We got one more.
All right.
Hey, who's this?
Hey, this is Ole Miss Cub.
Hey, Ole Miss Cub, what's up?
Oh, nothing. Just how about a diversion? Let's talk about history.
Okay.
All right. Who would you say, and Chase can answer this too, give me your top 5 U.S. presidents to learn about, or just ones you like or ones you want to have dinner with, or
Yeah, Lincoln, Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt.
Teddy or FDR?
Either.
Okay.
And then after that, you'd probably want to mix in a modern one. So it would come down to whether you'd want to talk to Reagan or whether you want to talk to Bush because of the 9/11, or whether you want to talk to Obama because of
Bin Laden.
the pioneer and the Bin Laden and all that.
Yeah. That's a pretty good list. I was just thinking about presidents recently, about their age too. Like, with Biden being so old and Trump being old too,
Yeah.
Just think about how, our founding fathers were really young. I looked it up just the other day at 1776, I believe. John Adams was 40. Jefferson was 33. Washington was 44.
Yeah.
In 1776. John Jay was 31. John Hancock 37. These were, and I guess maybe that was like being 80 years old back then. I don't know, but but they were grown men. But I was just thinking about how younger people, and I'm not even say younger people, but you don't see guys in their 30s and 40s. I don't know. It's just different. Now with these older politicians, it's just. I mean, I was looking up. FDR was only 63 when he died.
Yeah.
That is not old compared to what we've got now.
The one that I would love to talk to is Lincoln.
Yeah.
Because Lincoln spent his entire first term. So he wins the election. The South secedes. He spends his entire first term basically as a hated president, fighting a war. He wins the war finally. Just so much crap that he dealt with. He thought he was going to lose. He spent all of 1864 thinking he was going to lose the election. He got hot late, won it. And then he would be fascinating to talk to. If you look at the pictures of Abraham Lincoln on his inauguration day versus what he looked like, the hell he went through for 4 years. And apparently he was a guy who genuinely cared.
Well, absolutely. I mean, you look at the number of, executions that he, pardoned. I mean, he was not going to execute a young person for falling asleep on duty, who volunteered to fight for their country.
Right.
That's just not that wasn't his personality. Yeah, he aged so terribly, and it's a real, there's no other testament to the stress of a president than to look at Lincoln. But at least he died. I mean, I guess the one, it's kind of a weird thing to say, but at least he died with a peaceful mind, I suppose.
I think
he was actually in a good mood.
I think so, in a way. And then Washington's just, I've read so much about George Washington that I'm biased.
Maybe an underrated one here just because of the war stuff and then some of the things actually kind of from an act standpoint in the presidency is Eisenhower.
I'll throw another one. I'll throw another underrated president at you is James Monroe. Super underrated.
The Arab good feelings and although I'll say among the all-time underrated presidents has got to be James K. Polk. I mean, he said, "I'm going to run for one term. You elect me, I will end tariffs. I will create a Treasury Department, and I'm going to expand to the west, to the Pacific." And he did that in 4 years.
Yeah, but that within days of making that promise, he regretted it.
I'm sure, because once he realized he could do it. But one of my favorite things in history is how we got Washington and Oregon. Basically, we had just won the war that he had aggressively started against Mexico. So we had the U.S. Army over in the West, and Polk is like, "Hey, Britain, why don't you give us Oregon and Washington?" And they go, "How about no?" And he goes, "Oh, you want to try it? You want to have a go?" And they go, "Okay, maybe not." So yeah, I mean, we got Washington and Oregon without firing a shot from Britain, just by basically thumping our chest. We're like, our army's already over here on this side of the country. You know that, right? And they gave it to him, and you know what? He was dead within 3 months. I think he went on a tour of the South after after he got out of office and got, I don't know, cholera or something in New Orleans and died. And, it's just, but yeah, that's a guy who accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish. I think they called him Young Hickory because he was a sycophant of Andrew Jackson's. So he was definitely, a good president. And, but Eisenhower is a good one, Chase. And Washington, Neal, though I go back to Washington, you'll agree with me on this. It cannot be overstated how important he was.
Mm-mm. No,
it
absolutely not.
It doesn't happen without him.
He's
no.
It's why when you go to the Capitol and you do the tour and you get the deal where they show you where his crypt was supposed to be, and you think about exactly what he meant to the country.
It's striking.
It's pretty powerful, really.
Yeah, it's very moving. And what's even more fascinating about Washington is how, the French and Indian War obviously got the colonists all riled up. Well, the French and Indian War may not have even happened if it wasn't for Lieutenant Washington. He went on that little expedition into the wilderness, right? And one of his Indians, under his command, killed a Frenchman with a tomahawk. And that basically started the French and Indian War, which led to the debt against the colonists that they got all pissy about, and that led to the revolution and so on and so on. And Adams as well. Adams deserves. It's sad that Adams doesn't have a monument in D.C. and I've read a lot about that, and they've tried to get that to happen, but it's a financial thing. And I also think that there's a commission in D.C. that, because of aesthetics, they say that they don't want to add any more monuments to the mall because there's too many already or something. So I don't know if Adams will ever get a statue, but I wish he would.
Well, in modern politics, right? Modern politics to me starts with Kennedy.
Yeah.
Because of television. And,
sure.
and then you get Reagan, who was this, the great communicator, and you get Clinton, who was this super charismatic guy, and then you get Obama, who was a junior senator from Illinois.
And nobody.
He really had no reason to win that election, and yet he did, and he won twice in two landslides, frankly. And there's just a lot there. I'm with you. You obviously are into presidential history. I am too. It's really remarkable how that office works, and I'll be honest with you. Now that it becomes obvious that Trump is going to lose, I am absolutely fascinated already. Chase is like, oh shit, here we go. I'm fascinated by the 2024 election because it's going to be two newcomers, potentially an incumbent president who wasn't elected in Kamala Harris versus a Republican field that could go any number of directions. And I think, frankly, in 2022, if you made me guess, in 2022, I would guess that the Republicans have 53 Senate seats and the House is 50-50.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right, Neal. And I would say that I'm not even sure. See, Harris, I mean, I guess we'll have to find out how she is as a VP. But I think Harris might get primaried. I mean, she was not.
I do too. I think you're
not that liked.
It's so funny you say that because I had this conversation with someone today, and I said her unlikables are so high that if you go through history, you see this happen several times. There's a real possibility that Kamala Harris is the president who loses her primary. The Democrats run against her in 2024 and somebody beats her. Because the Democrats right now are in a really funny spot. You've got Biden, this old man, and he is. Come at me if you want to. I don't care. And you have Kamala, and then you have the for lack of a better word, the socialist wing of the party. Bernie's too old. And you have this weird – the Democrats are in this weird spot, and the Republicans are too. Because the Republicans on one hand talk about like Dan Crenshaw and Tucker Carlson, and on the other hand they talk about Ted Cruz, and And who knows where this is going? I think 4 years from now is completely unpredictable. Like we always like to do Vegas odds. You would be able to get crazy odds on damn near anything right now today.
No, and look, Neal, Trump's not going away. He's still going to be pretending to be president on Twitter.
He will, but he's out in 4 years. There's no way that he or any of his family members, in my opinion, are even in the mix.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what happened tonight was pretty distasteful, and the way that he's losing this election is very distasteful.
I agree completely. I think he would be far better off just staying silent or conceding.
Well, he can't do he will do neither. I think we all know that.
Yeah.
But even Santorum, I saw on CNN, Santorum said no Republican politician will ever stand behind what he just said tonight.
Agreed.
It was, pretty terrible. But yeah, you're right, Neal. I mean, it's going to be, it's interesting, because I think Buttigieg is going to be around, and I think a lot of people like his youth and just kind of his vibrance, I guess. And the Republicans, there's Tim Scott. He's a black Republican. He might do something. Or Cotton, I think from Arkansas is going to have the young guy appeal.
He's going to be involved, no doubt.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, take it easy tonight.
Yep.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
We'll start our 2024 election coverage on Monday. Austin Barber, Hogan Gidley will join us in the second hour of that conversation.
Well, you'll be interested.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where we are. Oh.
Does Trump go back in the television?
Sure.
Starts a network, or does he try to start his own political party?
I don't know. Either way, I mean, it will not be part of the conversation in 4 years.
That's 69 million votes. I mean, he's leaving the White House, but he's not going away.
He broke Obama's record too.
I know. At the end of the day,
he got the second most votes in presidential history.
At the end of the day, it's 69 million votes.
Yeah.
It's going to be fascinating.
Oh, it's that. All right. Appreciate you guys for hanging in with us tonight as we had no material, but we made it work. So thanks for the calls. Thanks to you. We'll be back on Monday with another normal week as Ole Miss and South Carolina next Saturday night, 6:30 start for that one between the Gamecocks and the